Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking it out. I thought I'd do the BookTube newbie tag, the BookTube newbie tag. Oh goodness, sometimes talking is hard. But I wanted to do this, kind of give you a chance to get to know me a little bit. Hopefully you'll like the video enough that maybe you'll subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. And maybe, a like. Still trying to figure out kind of the format of doing some things. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the BookTube newbie tag, I know there's a lot of these on BookTube, and they'll list the questions and stuff, but I did actually find a BookTube newbie tag just online. If you are interested in it. The one that I found is, I just put it in to like a Google search and did a BookTube newbie tag, and it came up with booktubers.fandom.com. So yeah. So it says, there's a thing here, it says the first 7 questions are the original, and then the other ones have been added. And so there's a total of 10 questions. It says the rest have been added along the way. Some booktubers will do the other ones, which that's what I've seen, and that's why I decided to kind of do a Google search to see if I could find them, because I've seen some do just the 7, some do 10, and so it's just kind of, I don't know, just not sure which one to go, but at least this explains it. Again, it's booktubers.fandom.com. Let's go ahead and get into it. So number 1, why did you start this channel? I've been thinking about it for a while. I actually tried to start a BookTube channel a while ago, and then I shut that down because I was putting way too much pressure on myself, was not being true to who I was trying to be someone that could try and please as much people as possible, and that's just not, I mean, in some situations you'll obviously please more people, but I just wasn't happy with the stuff that I was putting out there, and I didn't put much. I mean, there was like maybe less than 10, definitely less than 15 videos, so really not much, but I was like gonna try and pump out a video 5 days a week, and so 5 videos a week, maybe a bonus video here or there, so sometimes 6. I was under the impression it was like I have to buy all these books to keep up with things, and buy the hyped books and read certain books, and it's like, you know what, I couldn't do it, and so I was very frustrated, and I thought my editing skills had to be at a certain level. And I was just beating myself up over not being at the level of the other booktubers. And even though I was just so new, but so I finally just had to shut it down. And so it's been a long time again, very few videos. So I thought I'm just going to kind of redo things. Plus the email that I had attached to that BookTube channel actually got hacked. So I had to shut that down anyway because of that. So, yeah. So I've just always kind of wanted to do that. I love reading, and I just wanted to talk about some books, and so yeah. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I'm not quite sure on what fun things I can bring to BookTube. I have trouble thinking about stuff like that, but definitely unique. As you can tell from the name of my channel, I am on the spectrum. I am high functioning autistic, but I just thought I don't know of anyone else that's on the spectrum that has a BookTube channel. I know there's channels where people are on the spectrum and they talk about things about life and trying to bring increase awareness about autism, and that when you talk to someone, it's not always known that they're on the spectrum. but I don't know of any autistic booktubers, so I thought that would kind of be unique. Number 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? Just finally allowing myself to be who I am. And if you don't like it, then why are you here? Go see someone else. And finally being okay to say that. I think that's the biggest thing, is it's like, I am who I am. I think the way I think. And if you have a problem with that, why are you watching the video? So I think that's what I'm most excited for, is being able to say that and mean it and believe it. So yeah. Number 4, why do you love reading? I know a lot of people have said because it takes their mind off of things. With my brain, sometimes it is just going 100 miles a minute type of a thing. It's always on something. But it's with reading, it just kind of removes myself from my thinking and gets me out of that hamster wheel, so to speak. And is a way for me to relax and kind of shut things down. Especially if I'm having a bad day and I'm kind of on like a sensory overload. It's, if I can get in a quiet room, in a dim room, it can be very relaxing and therapeutic and calming. And it still takes a while to get out of the overload, but it does help me get out of that overload when I'm able to get in a good environment like that. Because I know that even though I might get in a dim room and a quiet room when I'm on overload, if I don't have my mind doing something to try and quiet it, so to speak, it's just going to go from one thing to another, and it's going to analyze everything. What did I do wrong? How did I read the situation wrong? What did I say wrong? What should I have said? What should I have done? Just all of that. So anyway, so that's the main reason why I love reading. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? I don't really have a book or series that got me into reading. There are moments where I guess I wouldn't have read for several months to a couple of years because it was just, I thought it was not for me, so to speak. I thought I wasn't worthy of reading. It was my thinking at the time. I was too old, or I was too young. I was not in the right age group to read certain categories. And so finally, and then I would find something, and then I'd kind of get stuck because it's like, well, I can't read anything else. I have to read just this genre. And I would just get stuck in that. So it's been a process to kind of branch out and be like, I'm in my 30s. I can read middle grade if I want. I will read adult and YA. I'll even read children's books where it's, just like the little line or two and then a picture on the other page, or, or something like that. And if that's what I want to read, that's what I want to read. So I'll just read a whole bunch of stuff. And as far as genres go too, same thing. If I want to read classic one day and read horror the next, and dystopian and contemporary, or fantasy, science fiction, I'll read what I want to read. It's for my enjoyment. I'm not reading for someone else's enjoyment. So, and that's been a lot of years to learn that. So the author that I guess kind of really started to get me into reading was R.L. Stine. Not the Goosebumps books, because that was at the time where I thought I was, 1, too old to read Goosebumps, and 2, the people that I saw reading Goosebumps at school were the boys, and so I thought girls could not read Goosebumps. Because I never saw any girls reading Goosebumps. I was seeing girls read Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, but I was not seeing any girls read Goosebumps at that age. So I did discover R.L. Stine in elementary school, but again, I didn't think that I was allowed to read Goosebumps because it was the wrong gender and I was too old. But I did find his Fear Street books. Love the Fear Street books. Still will read those. I can read a Fear Street book in a day. They are very easy to read and very short. And I love them. So, yeah. And then it's been several years because I thought, well, teenagers aren't supposed to like to read, even though secretly I did. But I would force myself to not read. So the book that got me into reading again was the Harry Potter series. So, and even then, I had actually had to be bribed by my mother to start reading that. And I think that it was the third, or was it the fourth? One of the two, the third or the fourth. I think the third book had just come out. And she actually had to bribe me like $10 to even start reading the first book. And it just took off from there. And then, of course, it's like, well, there's no other books like this one, and I'm too old now to continue reading the Fear Street books, was my thinking at that time. And so I just kind of hit another block, and was reading what I had to read for school, which of course was a lot of the classics, and I really enjoyed them, and I wouldn't say anything because I thought I'm not supposed to, and because no one else in my class likes to read the classics, so I'm not supposed to. So teenagers aren't supposed to like the classics. Only adults can like the classics and appreciate them. And that's part of the problem with someone that has autism, is you'll see certain things and you think you're trying to read a certain situation, and it's hard for me to explain because I'm no psychologist or therapist or whatever, but you're reading the situation as a whole and what those around you are doing, and then you take what they're doing as the right thing to be doing. And if anyone does anything outside of what they're doing, then that's wrong and frowned upon. So you can't do that. And that's more than just the peer pressure. And I didn't really have a lot of friends who do peer pressure, but it's just the whole wiring and trying to read things is just all screwed up with that. And sometimes it just causes so much pressure. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just going to keep going on that. So let's just move on to the next question. Let's see. Number 6. So we're on question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Okay, this is another thing. Most of those that have answered this question that I have seen have said, or actually they've either skipped it or they have said they would ask if they can be friends to their favorite booktuber. Me, I wouldn't say a blessed thing or a darn thing, whatever you want to say. Again, that's just because of how my brain is wired. I will never, well, I don't want to say never. Very rarely would I ever be the first one to start any sort of conversation. I would never be the first one to start a conversation. I might say something as far as, you dropped something, is this yours? If there's like something, or is this your kids? If someone drops a pacifier. But that's it. You know, I am not going to start something. And can I just say how much I hate small talk? Why the heck is it even really called small talk? I don't know. And talking about the weather, and evidently that's not such a good thing, which I don't understand that. But I honestly, I would not be the first one to say something. So if my favorite booktuber is sitting next to me or across from me, I wouldn't say anything. I'd be thinking they want to be left alone. If they want if they are in the mood to talk, they can start the conversation. But yeah, I would not start it because it's, again, I'm just thinking, do they want to be left alone to read, to be on their own thoughts? Are they in a bad mood? And are they in a good mood? What do I even start saying, other than just hi? And, I would not be the one to start a conversation with my favorite booktuber. So that was number 6. Number 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think right now I'm going to say the hardest thing to overcome will just be the editing. I struggle to learn new things like that. A lot of new things. I do better when things are written down in kind of like a bullet point formation or a list. Like, step 1, go to this website. Step 2, go to this page. Step 3, go to this paragraph, or something like that. Or step 4, click on this. Step 5, input this information. I need it laid out, because otherwise I will get distracted on something else that's more interesting. And so it will be a process trying to figure out a lot of the editing. Let's see, number 8. When did you start reading? I started reading, I guess, by myself. Well, my mom is a huge avid reader, and so she has been reading to me like since I was born, basically. So I guess that could be the answer. Number 9, where do you read? Pretty much anywhere. My room, the sofa, anywhere in the house. Outside. I'll read in the car if it's parked in a parking lot, at the doctor's offices, while I'm waiting to be checked in and be seen. At a restaurant, well, if I'm there by myself, which I really don't do that anyway. Pretty much anywhere. The only time I can't read is like if I'm heading on a road trip and I can't read when the car is in motion. That will make me motion sick. So that's pretty much the only place. A lot of people can read in the car like that. I can't. I wish I could, but that's just sensorily, that's too much. You've got everything going by too fast, and the bright lights coming in and out with the clouds and any trees that are there, and the flashing and the sound of being on the road and the wind, and yeah, that's too much. That puts me in overload and gets me very cranky. Last question, what kind of books do you like to read? I kind of addressed this earlier. I am now to the point where I like to read pretty much anything. Fantasy, science fiction, contemporary, dystopian, thriller, paranormal. I think paranormal aspects tend to be my favorite. Historical fiction, cozy mysteries, classics. I just read a whole bunch of stuff. And same thing with age ranges. I'll read from children's all the way through adult. I've recently heard about new adult, but my mind is thinking, well, wouldn't that just be an adult book? So, I don't know. I guess I don't really understand that category yet. And what differentiates the new adult other than the age of the character, which I guess that's really it, but I don't know. Anyway, so that was the BookTube newbie tag. I hope you liked it, and I hope you're willing and wanting to hopefully stick around, and hopefully we can get to know each other. And if you'd be so inclined, please hit the subscribe button and the like, and maybe let me know you're here and what kind of books do you like to read. And I will talk to you later. Bye.